With me my masking tape, my emergency sewing kit. Ask my boys when they were growing up and they had masking tape on it. I kid you not. They'll even go through the dry. And you start thinking about the first thing that I do when I was invited, run to the closet. What am I going to wear, you know? So this is what I chose. Did I do all right? You did. All right. So when I spoke over in Panama City on Monday night, and that night I had this brilliant idea that I was going to wear pantyhose. So, does anybody have pantyhose on now? No, it's too hot, but I was going to wear pantyhose. So I'm at the guest home and I'm putting them on. And my size, you know, it's not real easy to do. I'm laying on the bed, putting my leg up in the air, trying to pull them on, because I wanted all the jiggles and jaggles to be in place. Unfortunately, they're not in place today. So as I was doing that, I ran my thumb up through it and got a run. Oh no, now what do I do? So I got out the fingernail polish. Put that on there, getting ready to leave, saying, you know, hello and goodbye to my host, and all of a sudden I go, what in the world is wrong with my leg? Ever been there where that nail polish is sticking to your skin? So I'm trying to pull it off. I thought, I'm just taking these off. So I took them off and didn't wear them. But then, today, I'm getting ready. Well, actually last night I wanted to put on capris. Well, that didn't work out because I still have the battle scar. I still have the paint on here because I didn't have any nail polish remover. Just as I was leaving the hotel room this morning, I caught my bracelet on the hem of my jacket. See, I was lucky that I had brought with me my masking tape, my emergency sewing kit. You see, I don't sew. I don't do a button. I don't do a seam. And I definitely do not do a hem. Ask my boys, when they were growing up and they had too long of jeans, every pair had masking tape on it. I kid you not. They'll even go through the dryer. And then, you know, it made me start thinking about my life over the years. What have I done with different life situations and challenges? I have taken them up, hidden them away, those fears and anxieties. Does that sound familiar to you? Well, in the early 2000s, my husband and I were woken up in the middle of the night with a heartbreaking phone call. Our son had made some really bad choices and some decisions, and my heart was broken. I felt like somebody had taken my heart out of my chest and stuffed it down into the garbage disposal. As a matter of fact, my husband and I had a fight over who hurt the worst. We started in the kitchen, we went through the living room, into the bedroom, and I am yelling, I hurt the worst. I'm the mom. And my husband looks at me and goes, I'm the dad, and I hurt. I remember sitting on that bed and looking at him, and we were crying, but finally we were laughing, and we were supporting each other, and we realized that we needed each other and we needed God. But I was mad at God. And I just felt like I was mad at everybody. You know, when things are going really well in life, it's so easy to lift our hands up in praise. But when things are going bad, that emotional pain, I found out, was actually physical pain created. I never knew that I could actually physically hurt when my heart was broken. Have you ever felt like that? Well, there's a story in the Old Testament. For me, it just depicts what God provided for me. You see, the Israelites, God's people, were fighting the Amalekites. And God told Moses to stand on the mountaintop. And as long as his hands were up high, the Israelites, God's people, would prevail. But I've had my hands up here just for less than 5 seconds, and I'm ready to put them down. So you can imagine Moses, his arms started to waver, and his people started to die. And so his best friend and his brother Aaron saw a rock, and they slid that rock underneath him. And he rested on that rock, and his arms were up high, and his people prevailed. But then his arms wavered again. And so his best friend and his brother came alongside of him, and they held him up. They supported him. And his people, God's people, prevailed and won. And that is exactly what happened in my life. Have you ever experienced that when your heart is broken and you can't pray, you feel hopeless, but your friends come alongside of you, you're and you're Aaron, and they pray for you? That's what happened to me. And I had hope again, even when I couldn't utter a word. So I ask you, together as a group, before we leave here today, let's take and let's rip off that tape. That we have taped up those things in our lives, those situations that just break our heart. Be raw and go to your sister in Christ and say, pray with me. I can't even utter a word. And that's what I want to do with you. So today, again I say, take that tape off and allow God to work in your life. And walk out of here and say, I shall not be taped. God bless. Turn to him and ask for his forgiveness and his guidance. I get heaven. Heaven in the hereafter. But I get heaven here on earth. I get to walk and talk with the man called Jesus. Do you know him like that? Do you have a relationship with him? I'm not talking